This is your stimulus check updated information for today. So this is all about the stimulus check. Looks like President Biden is going to be pushing for this big $3.5 trillion budget plan that Nancy Pelosi has already put together in the House of Representatives. Now, if they can get this passed, this looks like it might be the fourth stimulus check. And in this fourth stimulus check could be maybe a monthly payment, could be a one-time payment. That we don't know yet. But we do know that also some of the other extensions are might be pushed out. Maybe the unemployment will be pushed out. Maybe the child tax credit will be pushed out. So there's a lot of details on what's happening with stimulus checks. There are states that are now sending out stimulus checks. Every state in the United States received billions of dollars from the federal government in the American Rescue Plan. That American Rescue Plan was the $1,400. Plus, if you didn't receive your first or second check, there is a way to get those. You can pick up that first two checks and the third check if you haven't done so already with that also. But there is a lot of new information about what's going to be coming down the road over the next couple of weeks of more stimulus check. I know a lot of people they got their $1,400 check and maybe they got the other dependents check and they're looking for the next check. And there is a lot of pressure for Congress to do that. There's also the economy is not really recovering like they wanted it to. So that's putting a lot of pressure on Congress to probably get more checks out. And what they want to do is they want to bypass all the Republicans in the Senate and just go for the reconciliation to where they only need the 50 votes of the Democrats. So what I want to do is cover a lot of the details in this video for you. That way you know what's happening with stimulus. So right now it's not a very good month for President Biden. Looks like a lot of things are just happening in August. I think he probably would like the month to get over with so he can move on to the next one. But for right now, it looks like Congress is trying to get this $3.5 trillion budget plan set up. It says if adopted by Congress and signed into law, the trillions in the bipartisan infrastructure proposal would be used for the maintenance of roads, bridges, railways, airports, and modernize of the electricity network, the expansion of broadband internet, clean drinking water, and a forceful approach to the climate crisis. This is something that they're going to try to push through, and they're going to try to bypass the Republicans. Democrats are going to try to do that. The funny part is when the Republicans have the majority of the vote, Democrats didn't want to use this reconciliation. They didn't like it. They wanted to not use it. Now, when the Democrats are in power, they love the reconciliation now because obviously they want to get their votes in and get these more stimulus out. It's good news for stimulus if the Democrats are in power because Democrats love to spend the money. They love to go out there and take the money to the federal government and borrow it, print it, all that, and just spend it. So they like to do that. This $3.5 trillion plan is huge. This is going to have all kinds of government spending in it. It's going to be this huge welfare state type of setup here. But I think a lot of it's going to trickle down to those that qualify for it and those that want to get another stimulus check out the door. And the one thing that's really pushing this economic recovery or more stimulus is going to be economic slow recovery is what's going on right now. So along the rise of the Delta variant, calls for another payments have grown louder and louder. Right now, the IRS has already sent out $3,200 to hundreds of millions of people. So that's people that made less than $75,000 a year have received that payment. Also, the unemployment is going to be $300 per week so that people can claim that. Now, that is going to end on September 6th if they can't get this new budget plan done. If they can get the budget plan passed in Congress, President Biden signs it, then what will happen is they might be able to extend out that unemployment. But the next checks might come in that next round of this $3.5 trillion budget plan. It could be in the next one coming up as far as getting another check. With the economy not really recovering, with all this stuff that's happening overseas, there's going to be a lot of pressure for Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer to step up and get another payment out to everybody because people are going to start to get restless. I think people are going to need that, especially if some of these states, if they close down their economies again, if they close down their businesses, then people can't go to work. These businesses can't flourish. They can't move forward. That's going to put a lot of pressure on the economy to try to get another stimulus payment. One of the things that I saw happen with the $1,200 checks is that people invested that money. They didn't even spend it. They invested it and it grew. In fact, if you bought Bitcoin at the $1,200 back a year ago, it would be worth $9,000 today. And that'd be good for a lot of people if they would just invested it and held on to it. One of the things they're talking about right now is if you're going to get another stimulus check, one of the things you might want to do is pick up maybe some stocks using the app Robinhood, or you can use Webull. But you can pick up Roku, which is it's a streaming, it's one of those devices you put on your your TV, and what happens is you can stream movies, you can stream TV shows. It's kind of like Netflix, but it kind of expands it more. But they're talking about the Roku stock would be a good place to invest your money if you get another stimulus check. If you got stimulus checks in the past and you're not holding on to them, try to go to Robinhood, try to go to Webull, pick up this Roku stock, and then it could grow, and in a year from now, it could be worth a lot more. Again, a lot of people that invested in Bitcoin is now, that $1,200 is now $9,000 if you would have invested that in 2020. So it's good news for California. Looks like they're gonna be getting their checks. I think on this Friday, it's gonna be coming out for checks, and that would be actually today would be the day to get these checks. You're gonna get $600 payments to most taxpayers in the state. It's gonna be the same qualifications, $75,000 or less. And this is going to allow people that don't have Social Security numbers to get another payment too, and that $1,000 payments for qualified ITIN filers. So those basically are people that aren't documented, they're not, maybe they're not US citizens. They're gonna be getting a check from the people in California, but you have to file your returns and you have to actually live in California to pick this up. I think this is good news for a lot of the other states, because the other states are gonna see this and they're going to turn around and pay the people in their state some type of stimulus payment. But California right now is the only one that's actually sending out real monthly payments, kind of like the federal government did before. And with California, it looks like some of the other states are sending out stimulus checks. Also, you got Colorado that sent out $375 to people that received one unemployment payment. Also, Maryland looks like if you earned income tax credit on your filings, you'd be getting a $500 for families and $300 for individuals. So that state of Maryland, New Mexico, they're gonna be sending out $750 checks to around 4,000 people in the state of New Mexico. New Mexico received $1.8 billion in the American Rescue Plan. They're only sending out $5 million. It seems a little low to me. Now, Florida, they're doing something a little different. They're gonna be sending out $1,000 payments to teachers, plus they're gonna be sending out to frontline workers. So you got EMT, firemen, police, all of them are also gonna be getting a $1,000 payment. Georgia, same thing, $1,000 payments for teachers and administrators. Michigan, $500 hazard pay for teachers. New York, looks like they're gonna be spending $1.2 or $2.1 billion for undocumented workers. Tennessee is gonna be getting $1,000 payments for teachers. Texas is going to receive money for individual cities. Looks like Irvine is gonna be one of the bigger ones, and they're gonna be giving out $2,000 payments for people to incentivize them to get back into the classroom as far as teachers. I get it, a lot of these, a lot of these states are just sending out to teachers, and teachers definitely do need the stimulus, but I think most of these states, they've all received billions of dollars, and they're just like sending out a little bit here and there to the teachers there. They should be sending out to those that qualify for the federal stimulus check. I think the states should send out payments to those people in that area. So one of the things that's stimulus checks that's happening right now is this child tax credit. Those of you that do have children, $3,600 payments is going out to those that have children under the age of 6. So that's a pretty good payment. And what they're doing is they're actually sending out monthly payments to everybody starting in July 15th, all the way going through December. You get a $300 payment every month. And then also kids between the age of 6 and 17 get a $3,000 check, but you get a $250 check starting in July going through December. So that's good news for people that want that monthly payment. So most are eligible if they file their returns with the Treasury, and you have to make less than $75,000 individually and $150,000 as married. And the best way to do it is just file your returns with the Treasury, and you'll be able to pick up that child tax credit. Also, if you file your returns with the Treasury, there is a free filers tool on there. If you go there and you fill out your 2020 returns, there is a section in there called Recovery Rebate Credit. If you check on that, what will happen is you can let them know that you never received your first 2 payments. And then if you check on the Recovery Rebate Credit, then what they'll do is they'll send you out the first, second check, and the third check all in a like lump sum, I guess. I don't think they'll do individual checks, but a lump sum of all those payments. But you have to file your returns with the Treasury, and you have to fill out the Recovery Rebate Credit on that in order to get that payment. And that way you can get your stimulus check 1 and 2 if you never received those, which is good, because I know a lot of people are commenting below that they never received their first 2 checks. So there is a way to get those. And there also is a payment trace on there. So if you did check the portal and you did not receive your payment, you can go in there and you can try to get that payment traced and try to pick up that payment if it never arrived. Like if it got lost or got stolen or whatever, then you can pick up that payment through a trace. So if you have any questions, you can drop those questions in the comments below. This is your daily stimulus check updated information for today.